Archie Slaymaker, International Points News. I'm joined by former world champion Carl Frampton. Carl, how are you today?
I'm okay, yep, I'm good. Busy day, doing a lot, but it was good.
As I say, thank you for sticking around for the interview with myself. We'll touch on the Usyk Dubois press conference. What did you make of the press conference just upstairs?
I enjoyed it, to be honest. Don Charles told he had a monologue that he talked about. It was actually a good story, and he finally got to the point of what he was trying to say. Usyk was funny. Dubois is confident and serious. Frank and Aegis were going at it, a bit of a joke, obviously, but I thought it was a good press conference. I hate all the fake, fucking bullshit and bluster that there's no need for. It was just two guys who are confident and winning the fight.
I've just seen you filmed the face-off in there. Obviously, I know it's quite difficult. Alexander not speaking, obviously, English in himself, and obviously having it being translated. But what did you make of it? Them being face to face and them talking to each other.
Look, it was okay. I don't think you can ever read too much from this far out from a fight anyway. And people talk about someone's not looking in his eye and he doesn't look confident. I think a lot of it's everyone likes to think that they're kind of fucking psychologists without any sort of degree behind their name. So I don't know if there's much you can tell from it. But what I will say is both guys are confident. Both genuinely look confident. And the confidence I think I'm getting from Daniel Dubois. Sometimes you get from an underdog, it's fake and they're just saying stuff, but it seemed real. Like he believes he can win this fight. Don Charles believes he can win it. Frank Warren believes he can win it. They have a real air of confidence about them.
Obviously, there is a slight favourite going into the fight. I think a huge favourite according to the bookies and all the pundits. But what's your opinion on your chances you're giving Daniel into this fight?
Look, he has a chance. I have a clear favourite in the fight, and that is Usyk. But I think just coming here and seeing, and maybe that's me being gullible and listening to what other people are saying, but I just got something from the confidence that they have, and then actually thinking about it rationally. And Frank Warren made a good point in saying, look at, it's 4 fights, Usyk's 4 fights at heavyweight against Tim Witherspoon, which was not great, Chisora, which was okay. I think he won the fight but didn't look brilliant, and then 2 AJ fights, and we don't know what AJ was a bit, his style was a bit confused, especially in the first fight anyway. So they're saying this is Usyk's toughest fight at heavyweight, and when you think of it like that, you kind of have to believe that. You know what I mean? Could be anyway. But they're confident. I still have a clear favourite, but Dubois certainly has a chance.
What do you think Daniel needs to do in this fight? Obviously, Usyk, slippery operator, obviously, especially at cruiserweight and now heavyweight. But what do you think Daniel needs to actually do and impose himself on and do it?
Hey, when there's any clinches, he needs to impose his strength. He needs to throw him around. He needs to rough him up. He needs to be dirty if he can. If he can get away with it, keep doing it. He needs to kind of set a high work rate that makes you don't give Usyk a rest. He just box rings around you. It needs to be he'd be getting hit, but he needs to be aware that that's going to happen, and he needs to force a high pace. He needs to not get frustrated, because Usyk is someone who could really easily frustrate you, and he just needs to understand that as long as the fight's going on and he's on his feet, he's in with a chance, because he's a big athletic guy who can really punch. So I think it's really important that he doesn't get frustrated in the fight, because he may be 4 or 5 rounds down after 4 or 5 rounds, and there may be occasions in the fight where Usyk has him punching thin air. So yeah, just level-headed, and yeah, he has a chance.
If I have to press you for a prediction on that final, August 26th, who do you think?
I think Usyk still. Usyk wins the fight, I think. But I'm not saying that with as much confidence as I was yesterday.
Doing the punditry, it's a bit more of a personal question, but doing the punditry in the face-off there, how are you finding the change from fighter to being a pundit?
It's okay. Look, the punditry stuff is easy. It's just say what you see, you watch a fight and you talk about it. But this stuff that I'm doing now, and interviewing fighters and hosting a head-to-head and all, I still feel like is it a fish out of water or a duck out of water? Still, yeah, ducks can be out of water. I still feel like a fish out of water. Yeah, but look, it's all experience for me, isn't it? And I feel like I'm I don't know, getting a wee bit better at it.
I'm going to get your prediction on your actual thought process on Tyson Fury versus Ngannou being announced. What do you think of that fight as a whole, and do you think it sort of makes a mockery of the sport at all?
I don't know. Mockery is a strong word, isn't it, to say that? But look, it's you've got a lot of other heavyweights fights being recently made, and the one fight that we all wanted was Usyk and Fury, and for whatever reason, depending on what side you listen to, they both have their arguments for why it never happened. I still want to see that fight at some point, and when we were being promised that fight a few months ago, and you end up with Fury against Francis Ngannou, as a boxing purist, I'm a bit disappointed, but they'll make both of them. Ngannou will get paid more than he's ever get paid, easily. Fury will get a massive payday for a really easy night's work, and I think that's what it is. And that's not being critical of Francis Ngannou. He's an MMA guy, and in that world, it's an easy fight for him if he fights Fury. But this is boxing, and it could be if Fury wanted it to be an early night, I think it could be.
He's running on on the schedule. Obviously, do have BT Sport changed over to TNT, but obviously they've got Davis Cunningham. They've acquired Terence Crawford versus Errol Spence. I think Baluta versus McCann, and Joe Joyce versus Zhilei Zhang 2. What do you make of that whole schedule?
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of good fights coming up. I think the TNT Sports have just kind of, the new rebrand and the takeover from Discovery and Warner Brothers. Obviously, being with BT previous to that, still with BT obviously, but there's going to be a changeover. You're just kind of thinking, are they going to still be involved in boxing as much as they are? And when they land fights that everybody wants to land, like Terence Crawford and Spence, and they don't have any involvement with either fighter, you can see where we're at here, and they want to have all the big fights on their platform. So I'm excited to be a part of it, and just looking forward to the future, really. I'm
just going to jump onto a few names that you know relatively well. Chantelle Cameron versus Katie Taylor 2 is touted for November the 25th back at the 3 Arena. Obviously, Chantelle did win the first fight, retaining her titles. What do you think needs to happen in the second fight? Obviously, and what are your thought process in?
It's a difficult fight for Katie, going on what I've seen in the first time. I think that she done really well to rally in the middle rounds and win a few rounds and make the fight competitive in terms of scorecards at the end. But after like 2 or 3 rounds, I was thinking it's going to be a real hard night here for Katie. But the rounds that she won, she had to fight really, really hard and exert a lot of energy just to win the rounds. Is it a lightweight or light welters, or that's up and decided yet?
Chantelle Cameron's belts again, from as far as I'm aware.
I mean, that just shows you the character of Katie. It's she's, she wants to fight the best. She will want more than anything to redeem herself in this fight, but I think it might be more of the same. What I would really, really, really hate to see would be Katie getting stopped. I would hate to see it. But going on what happened in the first fight, you have to have Chantelle as a favourite.
And just last one, Jack Catterall. It seems to be not a frustrating period, but obviously Regis Prograis signing does look like he is getting the Haney fight. Are you interested in seeing the Josh Taylor rematch?
Yeah, absolutely. It could be done at welterweight. Could be done at light welter if Josh still can get down to that weight. I think if other guys are tied up, then there's a huge appeal for that fight. A lot of people, the majority of the people watching it, thought that Josh lost the fight. I think there'd be a massive appeal for that fight. And both boys could, although there may not be a title on the line, they have every right to ask for more money than they did in the first fight. So it could be a nice little earner for both of them.
Perfect. That was my last question. Thank you for talking to TNT Sports News.
Thank you.